For the last 3 or so years, the Hyundai Venue has been the go-to choice for anyone looking to get a small petrol automatic SUV. But let me tell you, things are about to get difficult. So this right here is the new for 2022 Venue, and the thing is, it won't have as easy as the original model did because the competition has finally caught up. Now it's up against cars like this, the all-new Maruti Brezza, which has made a quantum leap in things like technology and features. So let's find out by pitting these two against each other when we bring space, practicality, performance, features, and more importantly, price. My name is Sagar and you're watching CarWale. If you're looking to get either of these cars, you may find some great deals on our website carwale.com. But for now, let's start this comparison inside. Space in either car isn't an issue. In fact, both leave a good first impression as you step inside the cabin. Up front, it's the Brezza which has slightly more knee room and headroom, but it's the Venue that has the larger seats of the two. There isn't much splitting the two when it comes to shoulder room at the front, but it's a different story as soon as we move on to the second row. Again, the rear seat base and the backrest on the Venue are slightly longer, but the Brezza has noticeably more shoulder room, which is good if you want that added cabin width to accommodate 3 passengers at the back. Now you may have noticed looking at our figures that the Brezza has more legroom, but it's actually the Venue which has more usable knee room, and that's mainly because of these scoops on the front seat back which liberate that little bit of extra legroom. As for the all-important ingress, it's the Brezza which does it better with slightly wider opening doors, higher seating and a wider ingress area. Up front, the Venue has got a clear upper hand here. I mean, it's a really nice looking cabin, and when compared to the Brezza, it looks and feels better as well. For important things like the quality and fit and finish, it is better. I mean, the texture of plastic on this dash top, the use of contrasting colors on the dashboard, the door pads, and most importantly, the fit and finish around stuff that you'll end up using the most. So things like the air con vents and the center console, they are better in here. The buttons also operate with a more solid feel. So the Brezza isn't in a different planet altogether, it's just that the Venue has nicer looking and feeling elements wherever you look, all of which add to the all-important feel-good factor. There is no getting away from the fact that this cabin is a huge step up from the old Brezza, be it the look and feel of things. So you have multi-layers for the dash, and you also get this nice dark brown and black dual color combination, which to my eye gives it a very European car-like feel. And overall, the quality of plastics is also better than the old car. Now in terms of quality and finish, it's pretty nice, but there are low quality bits lower down, so it's not completely amazing. But like I said, it's a big jump over the old Brezza, and all things considered, this is yet another impressive interior from Maruti this year. The driving position on the Brezza is also equally impressive. So you're seated nice and high, and you have this good view of the road ahead. So you also get this large 9-inch display that sits on top of the dash. In fact, it sticks out of the dash, but even so, you get a good view of the bonnet and you can clearly see where it ends. Getting that perfect driving position as per your liking is also much easier on the Brezza, simply because of the fact that this car also gets reach adjustment for the steering. Now this is something that's missing on the Venue, which incidentally gets electric adjustment for the seats, though I wish Hyundai could have added this feature as well, because as I see it, it is quite usable. The Venue almost matches the Brezza for maximum legroom, but in the real world, there might be times wherein the front passengers would want to have extra space, and the only way to do that is by sliding the seat further back. In that case, the scoop on the Venue seat back really comes in handy to give that extra bit of usable space for your knees. As an added advantage, the Venue also gets a 2-step recline for the rear seat, a feature that will definitely make long journeys more bearable. I could also comfortably slide my feet under the front seat and be a slouch with the rear seat back reclined. Both are equally matched for rear seat comfort. Now I am in the Brezza, and even though it lacks a recline function for this backrest, the angle in fact is pretty much spot on, and the cushioning, it is also great. Talking about cushioning in both these cars, they are neither too soft nor too firm, which is always great because when you're doing long distances you don't want it to be too soft either. But what about times when you want to have more than 2 people at the back? Well, in that case, it's the Brezza which is more accommodating thanks to its wider cabin. Now, there will be some nudging of course, but your passengers would be better off in the Brezza than in the Venue. Storage options on both the Venue and the Brezza are pretty solid. Let's start off with the Brezza, which gets a fairly large door bin that can hold 1-liter bottle as well as a medium-sized first aid pouch. Between the front seats, you have some open storage cubby and 2 cup holders which are of different sizes. Behind them, there's a small but deep storage box that can be covered with the armrest. Now the glove box isn't the largest you can get in this class, but it has cooling function and is also illuminated. Convenient bits at the rear include a center armrest with 2 cup holders and AC vents for the rear passengers. The best part though is that you get both Type A and Type C USB ports in the Brezza. You get a Type A port in the Venue as well, though it's in the front, and the twin USB ports at the rear are the newer Type C. The Venue also gets a cooled glove box, a front armrest with a storage box, a small cubby for the key behind the gear lever, and decent sized door pockets. Additionally, there's a narrow though still very usable open storage above the glove box, and lastly, Hyundai has put an air purifier into the Venue like they do in all their SUVs. Moving to the boot, it's clear which one is bigger of the two, and it's the Venue's 350-liter capacity that is claimed to be more accommodating than the Brezza's 328-liter storage. In our measurement test, both are evenly matched for length, though it's the Venue that does better overall with a luggage area that's both wider and taller. Now the actual boot area is flat and well shaped on both, and it wouldn't be difficult to load luggage in either because of the wide opening. It's just that you can additionally fit in a couple of handbags inside the Venue thanks to its larger volume. All the cars in the compact SUV segment are now fully loaded with latest in technology and comfort-oriented features. And guess what? The top spec versions that we have here are no exceptions. Now, if you'd like to check out all the features that the Brezza gets, and even the Venue for that matter, then do visit our website carwale.com. And if you're keen like me to find out what's there in this car and what's not, and same for the Venue, then do stick around because there is lots to cover. In the Brezza, you get a 360-degree surround view cameras, a sunroof, LED headlights, LED fog lamps, a wireless charging pad, ambient lighting, engine start-stop, reach adjustment for the steering, and a heads-up display. The Venue, on the other hand, gets an inbuilt air purifier, electrically adjustable driver's seat, a tire pressure monitoring system, 2-step recline for the rear seat, drive modes including Sport and Eco, and leather seats. Both come with 6 airbags, ABS, and EBD, although it's a close match between the two when it comes to equipment overall, because there are certain important features that the Venue doesn't get, but at the same time, the Brezza, which is noticeably more expensive of the two, lacks novelty features that are now so common in similarly priced cars. So how are these cars like to drive then? Well, I'm in the Venue, which is clearly the more powerful car here. More than anything else, it's this turbo engine's torque advantage that really puts it ahead of the Brezza. I mean, we are talking about 172 Newton meters as against 136 in the Brezza. And let's not forget that this car is also lighter than the Brezza, and that it's got a quick shifting dual clutch automatic gearbox. Combine all of that and the figures that we got from a performance test make complete sense. From 0 to 100 kmph, the Venue is full 4 seconds quicker and the gap only gets bigger at 120. It was 1.5 seconds quicker in the 20 to 80 kmph roll-on acceleration test and nearly 4 seconds quicker from 40 to 100. The Venue is really quick even in normal drive mode. Put it in sport and it becomes even more eager to get going. The combination of the turbo engine and the responsive dual clutch automatic is very appealing, and dynamically, the car feels agile, stable and nimble. The new K15C engine in the Brezza makes 102 brake horsepower, but because it's naturally aspirated, it doesn't make as much torque. At 136 Nm, the torque is just about adequate for everyday driving. And because Maruti has tuned this engine to be more efficient than before, it has taken a toll on its drivability, especially in the mid-range. The Brezza clearly is more of a relaxed cruiser than an eager performer. Now you do get these paddle shifters behind the wheel, and let me tell you, they do help in making quick progress. So all you need to do is pull on the left paddle and you can bring this engine into the meat of its power band. But then again, there's only so much this torque converter automatic gearbox can do. All things considered, this naturally aspirated engine paired to what is a very smooth shifting automatic makes for a sedate, comfortable daily driver, but it is a little underwhelming when you want to make quick progress. The Brezza cannot match the Venue for its outright speed, but it more than makes up for it with its extremely refined and well-done suspension. Now, be it any road surface other than smooth tarmac, it is definitely more comfortable than the Venue. And because it's got a soft suspension setup, it also deals with major road imperfections like expansion joints and potholes in a better manner than the Venue. We've been driving on all sorts of road surfaces today, and most of which have been really bad. So in the Brezza, the initial impact when you hit a sharp-edged bump or a pothole is softened and much more rounded off than in the Venue, which is noticeably more stiffly sprung. The Brezza's cabin is also prominently quieter at low to medium speeds. You hear less of all the honking, the road noise and other vehicles around you. At highway speeds though, there isn't much splitting the two, and when you're cruising at triple-digit speeds, it's the Brezza's engine that's more vocal. Things get very interesting at this point. So you have a compact turbocharged engine paired to a modern dual clutch automatic versus an old school naturally aspirated engine coupled to a torque converter automatic. The Brezza also weighs quite a bit more than the Venue, mainly because of its larger engine. But then again, it's also the one with mild hybrid technology, including an integrated starter generator and a small battery. So what kind of efficiency figures did we get in our test? So we got little over 13 kmpl in the city and 18.5 kmpl out on the highway out of the Brezza. As for the Venue, it returned 12.58 kmpl in the city and as much as 19 kmpl on the highway. Now clearly there isn't much to split between the two when it comes to highway efficiency, but the fact that the Brezza with its larger engine is actually more efficient in the city is reflective of how this mild hybrid technology works. At low RPMs and mild throttle inputs, the ISG motor helps the petrol engine by delivering a certain amount of electric assist. And in doing so, it's reducing the engine's load at low speeds, ultimately making it more fuel efficient. In reality, if you drive the Brezza sedately in urban conditions, it is bound to be a more fuel efficient car here. The ex-showroom prices for the entry-level variants of the Brezza are on par with the competition, but as you move up the ladder, it tends to get more expensive than the competition. The top-spec automatic version that we have here is a prime example of that. At Rs 13.96 lakhs, it's roughly 1.2 lakh rupees more expensive than the Venue automatic. Sure, the Venue misses out on some essential features that the Brezza gets, but let's face it, the difference in on-road prices would be larger still, and that would be a difficult pill to swallow. There are many strong reasons to go for either of these cars, though I suspect on this occasion it is going to be a difficult choice to make, given that both have their own set of strong points. Ultimately, it all boils down to what you want. So if it's a practical, no-nonsense compact SUV that's quiet and refined in the city with good fuel efficiency, then it's the Brezza that makes more sense. The Venue, on the other hand, has a nicer cabin and a footless performance to offer without sacrificing too much on fuel efficiency or ride comfort. So in many ways, it is the more rounded product of the two. But hey, I wouldn't blame you for going for either of these cars because let's face it, both of them are genuinely good compact SUVs after all.